Здравствуйте, уважаемые дамы и господа, вас приветствует Владимир Фойгельман, и мы возвращаемся к нашей программе Sunny Side Up and Show, или «Все о яичнице». И сегодня Центр Макор предлагает вам интереснейшую встречу с очень интересным человеком, актриса, которая была и на Бродвее, и офф-Бродвее, и сейчас работает здесь, в Бостоне. И мы представляем вам нашу гостью, Аннет Миллер, актрису в моноспектакле «Балкон Голды». Hi, Annette. Welcome to Sunny Side Up and Show. We're glad to have you with us today. It's a little bit cold outside, but I hope you will warm up a little bit our atmosphere in our program. And I would like to ask you, first of all, you long-time actress was on a Broadway, off-Broadway. Can you tell us a little bit of your story? Because our audience, I think, not very familiar with kind of what you're doing on stage.
Oh, well, I've been acting on stage. I've been a professional since I've been 18 years old. And I've been acting on Broadway, off Broadway, in Boston, and mostly right now in Russia. Yes, I performed in St. Petersburg. I performed in Kiev. I performed in Simferopol.
Oh,
yes, and in Sevastopol. How's that?
wow.
Wow. We were the first, I think, Americans in
Yeah,
there.
because Sevastopol was a closed city. You cannot go there.
Well, we went there in 93, I think, or 94, after
collapse of Soviet Union.
Excuse me?
After the collapse of the Soviet Union.
After the collapse. What do they call it? It was Gorbachev.
Yes.
Yeah, he came in. And so Glasnost, is that what it was called? Something like that? I'm not so sure. Anyway, so yes, that's when I performed down there. And so yes, I studied at Performing Arts High School. I graduated from Brandeis University. Then I got a master's years later at Brandeis University.
And master's in what? If it's not a secret.
In theater.
In theater? Wow.
In acting, yeah. So I got my undergraduate degree. I got a BA at Brandeis, and then I went back years later for an MFA at Brandeis in theater.
Nice.
Yeah.
And good question. You know, Golda Meir is, of course, the most beloved Israeli or person among Russian-speaking Jews or Jews from the former Soviet Union. And she, of course, our legend. She is the woman among Jewish people, and especially those who came here or live in Kiev, because she is a Kiever. She went when she was young, but anyway, it's still, for us, she is the legend. And how you decided to create a face of the Golda Meir?
I decided because Bill Gibson had written a play, and somebody saw me do a different play and recommended me to do this play. So Bill Gibson sent me the play, and I asked our director, Daniel Gidron, who is from Israel and, of course, works here in the United States, in Boston mostly. So Bill gave me the script, and that's how I decided to do Golda. And I will say that I was quite nervous, imagining that I would take on such an iconic woman, that I would step into her shoes. And when you see the play, and I hope you will, I literally stepped into her shoes on stage. So it's very meaningful piece for me.
Tell me, what it was more difficult or interesting to transform yourself into Golda Meir? Which feelings do you have?
I had feelings of awe, and she spoke very clearly to me. Her message spoke, her life spoke very clearly to me. It's an extremely well-written play. I was able to identify, I don't really know how, except with her passion. I guess I'm a passionate person myself, and she had a tremendous passion and will, and I understood her will and her passion, and I think it was through that that I mostly connected to Golda.
And you know, you of course supposed to remember Golda alive. You was very young then, and you're young right now as well. But I was a kid at that time. I remember lots of talkings about Golda in my family, but I not really remember her.
Well, Golda was always talked about in every Jewish family, and certainly for a young girl, Golda was held up as an idol of all the wonderful, important things you could be, that you could be that kind of a person, and it was a woman. And Ben Gurion says, when history is written, it will say it was a Jewish woman got the money that made the state possible.
And shortly, it's not spoiling, but the play is about Yom Kippur War, I believe.
Yes, well, it's her journey. It is her journey into Israel, what formed her, and it starts with her remembering the Yom Kippur War. And it brings her back to her first thoughts. And they were her first thoughts of her father in Kiev, putting up boards across the door to keep out a pogrom. So that's what she remembers most, and what I think where she comes from, where a lot of her mentality comes from, that very beginning of trying to survive in Russia, in Kiev, with the pogroms that were happening, which, as she says, were the fashionable thing. So it starts there. She looks at her life. She's at that stage in her life which I'm getting close to, which I am at, where you kind of review what made you tick and what the big highlights were. And of course, what her biggest moment was, the Yom Kippur War. I shouldn't say her biggest, that was the most important thing that she felt, but you know, one of her big moments was coming to Moscow, where
as ambassador.
Yes, as ambassador. And she talks about, in the play, she talks about that trip to Moscow and what it meant.
I see.
Crowds of people coming to greet her.
Yeah, we know that story of thousands of Jews came to see her store, knowing what she's coming. And she thought what she will find empty synagogue, and she practically was carrying on hands.
Yes, it was. Well, when she first got there, they were just, she said, a few shabby old Jews there. But when she came and said the word spread that she was going to call everyone together on Rosh Hashanah. Yes, right. And she was mobbed by 50,000 Jews.
At that time, they've got lots of Jews in Moscow. Also, I have a strange question. Golda Meir grew up actually here in the United States. She made Aliyah to Israel much, much later, when she already was a grown-up woman. Young woman, but not a girl anymore. My question is to you, Annette. You are American woman and also Jew. Do you see anything together between, like the same between you and Golda, as American women?
Well, my life was not anything like Golda's. Growing up in New York City, and she in Milwaukee, and I did not have the Zionist dream that she did. And so I can't say that there was anything similar. What was similar, as I said, I think is her passion and her wanting to make a difference in the world. And I like to think by playing an important woman like Golda and getting her message out and telling her story, that maybe I can make a difference in someone else's lives. But I don't have anything else in my own life that is like Golda's. I never made speeches on soapboxes. You know, the only time I make a speech on a soapbox is when I'm in a play. And but that's the beauty of my art, I guess, to be able to be as if I was Golda. So.
And one more question about the play. It's a monoplay, means only you will be on stage.
Yes.
And how is it not a secret again? Because every actor has his own tricks how to keep audience be connected, engaged, and hooked to the actor, who need to take them from the beginning and do not let go until very end.
Well, listen, I mean, I have a play and I have a story to tell. I don't believe I'm busy thinking about how am I going to keep the audience. What I'm busy thinking about is how to tell the story and be this passionate woman. And given the play that Bill has written and the director who will take me through getting to the core of what she has to, what her needs are and what she has to do and why she has to do them. And that is what will keep the audience involved. I don't have any tricks about, like I suddenly don't get up and do a dance to keep them alive. You know, I'm very committed to the work, and I think that it's an important enough story, and then we tell it very simply, which is how Bill wanted it. I mean, we have a desk, her office, and I have her home, and we have the map of Israel. And that's what we work with, because that's exactly the core of her story. What happened in that office, what happened at her home, and what happens with the state of Israel.
I see.
So that's core.
Can I ask you, maybe you would like to perform a little piece from the play for our audience, just to catch? Give it to you.
Well, something that has just really struck me because of, you know, what is happening now. I'll give you a line because it's just so, now is she gets a phone call that she's woken up at 4 a.m. with a phone call. And they tell her that we're going to be attacked. And she hangs up the phone and she says, half of my cabinet generals, and not one of them could smell yesterday that today it's war. So this sticks with me a lot. This isn't the whole segment of it, but it stays with me a lot because I think that's exactly what happened now in October 7th. It just dawned on me that this is what's happening. I could give you, it's hard to take a speech out of context, that she says, certainly when she speaks in Moscow, when she tells the audience, when they greet her, I'm trying to think how it starts. besides 50,000. What did Israel mean to them? He says, I know from Moscow. When I left Russia, they were still a czar, and Jews weren't allowed in Moscow. I came back as ambassador with 25, my legation. We lived like in a kibbutz, share the chores, no salary, everybody got the same pocket money. Under Stalin, we were more Catholic than the Pope. There were thousands of Jews in Moscow, but how to get them? After 40 years, I had no idea. Zionism was a political crime against the state. Offenders were thrown into Stalin's prison camps. Even relatives who were afraid to contact for their part. My remnant of a family had all disappeared. So on Rosh Hashanah, our new year, I said the whole legation should go. The word spread. And that day, in the streets, we were mobbed by 50,000 Jews, old men and women, teenagers, Red Army soldiers, mothers with babies, spreading out their arms saying, Golda, Golda, Lebens us du, Golda. And when the rabbi saw our military attaché with a Star of David on his soldier's hat, he shrieked. And to those thousands of Jews, kissing, throwing me kisses, crying, kissing a handful of my skirt, I was so shaken that I couldn't think of anything to say. Only one miserable sentence. Dankheit was ihr seid geblieben, Yiddish. Thank you for remaining Jews. A sentence that spread through the crowd, like the word from Isaiah. There was in the crowd a 12-year-old boy, had a birthday camera, took a picture. And for weeks, Jews would come up to one of us and say, I have the picture. I have the picture. And copies spread everywhere. In Siberia, a girl from Vilna, sentenced to work in the lumber, was at a fire, warming her piece of frozen bread when she saw a man spying on her. In the woods, he said, are you Jewish? She said, yes. And out of his rags, he took the torn picture and whispered, there is Jews. And that's what Israel meant to every Jew, from Yemen to Siberia. So there you go.
Great. I'm applauding you. Thank you. Thank you. It was perfect. It was beautiful.
Well, I'm just sitting here now, and we have a rehearsal to start.
And of course, the information about a play you can find. Play will start on this weekend, February 23rd, and you can find information at centermakor.org. And here we will also display information about this nice play. And I truly recommend everybody go there and see it. It's a beautiful play, beautiful actress, very talented actress. And I think you will enjoy this portrait of the Golda Meir.
There's a phone number to call the box office. I think that's the best.
Yeah, we will provide all information to people. It will be on our website, on our Facebook, and also it will be here in the program as well at the end. And one last request. That's a tradition of our program. Every our guest supposed to give us or our audience tell us about his or her preferred way of fried eggs.
My
Your recipe.
actually have every
Your
morning.
recipe.
Every morning I don't have a fried egg. I have a poached egg. Is that all right?
What you
I
have?
I have a poached egg every morning.
Ah, fine.
Every morning. That's what I have. Okay. That gives me energy, and that's what I do. I could have a scrambled egg too, I guess, but I have a poached egg.
Okay. Good enough.
Thank you. I hope everybody comes, and it was very extemporaneous, and it's been wonderful to work on this play, especially at this moment in time. And I think we have some wonderful speakers coming to do talkbacks with us. It's a very important, critical time in Israel and Jewish history. And I welcome everyone to come. I hope I see you there.
Yep, I hope we will see lots of people from our community to come and enjoy this play and show their support to State of Israel, like we all need to do now. Okay.
Yes.
Thank you very much. And Annette, I'm really appreciated your participation in our program. It was very nice, a little bit, let's say, exprompt, but
Yes, exprompt. Very quickly.
that's what actor's supposed to do. He need to improvise.
That's good. I'm glad.
And by the way, good luck with the play, and I hope to see you there.
Good. Thank you. Right.
Thank you very much.
Right. Bye.
Окей, дорогие друзья, с нами была Annette Miller, актриса и исполнительница роли Голды Мейр в спектакле «Балкон Голды», который будет проходить в эти выходные. Вся информация вы ее увидите здесь на нашем сайте. Спасибо большое. Всем до свидания.